The term near-death experience is actually too limited. Many people have similar experiences without being in a life-threatening situation. For example, during a period of deep mourning for the death of a loved one. Looking back on that period, she talks of a time of despair. She could not imagine how to continue life without her loved one. Everything reminded her of the deceased. She worried herself sick and was going round in circles. She kept asking herself the same questions. Why did he have to die? Why did he die? And why should she still live on? Why is life so unfair? Sometimes she talked to her loved one, but to no avail. There wasn't a sound from him. He didn't seem to hear her anymore. Looking back, she saw how she had made herself sick during that period. Because of her fretting and worrying, she put too much pressure on her nervous system. That was okay for a while, but when her immune system grew weak and she could not break this downward spiral, she went under. She could not find any more strength to go on. It was only when her distress was at its highest and she had used up all her own energies that help was near. Her mother also saw that she was going downhill and that she could break at any moment. No help was possible because she couldn't help herself. When she finally fell asleep exhausted, something happened which she could never have imagined. In the spirit life, people know about her grief. When she has used up her own energies, her spiritual guide can help her further. He can bring about a disembodiment by means of his strong concentration. This out-of-the-body experience, therefore, does not take place by means of a physical shock or illness, as in the case of a near-death experience, but by means of a spiritual guide's concentration of will. He reassures her and gives her the feeling to trust and follow him. Another guide remains with the earthly body. The disembodied person can remove himself from the body because the fluid cord is elastic and passes through everything. The guide makes sure that she can adjust to the spiritual life step by step. Children are very sensitive to a spiritual presence. They are still open to unknown worlds. They have not yet learned that dead is dead. For them, there is more between life and death than for their parents. But later, their education and society usually close off that spiritual sensitivity. Due to this, adults on earth know nothing about a spiritual world. They do not see the human being as a spirit and do not feel any spiritual contact. They do not feel how truly spiritual reality penetrates and influences their material life. If she is sufficiently prepared, the guide can bring her to the meadow, a connecting sphere between the earth and the hereafter. Her loved one has already been informed beforehand about her arrival. They can now spend time with each other in the happiness of a temporary reunion. Now she experiences that her loved one is not dead, but spiritually alive and well. She now knows where the journey will lead when her earthly time is over. During the disembodiment, energies from the spirit flow through the fluid cord to the earthly body, so that the physical organs remain strong. When the daylight drives the material body to work, the body asks for the spiritual inspiration. As soon as the guide lessens his concentration on the disembodiment, the fluid cord draws her back. If something drastic had happened to the earthly body during the disembodiment, then the fluid cord would already have drawn the spirit back beforehand. After all, the fluid cord ensures the connection of feeling between the spiritual and earthly body. When she awakens, she remembers the nocturnal reunion as an intense dream. The feeling of happiness tells her that her loved one is alive and happy. Because of this, she will mourn less, which will also do her loved one good. If she continues to think of him sorrowfully, then those heavy thoughts will reach him in the hereafter and will impede his progress. Due to this disembodiment, the guide has helped both people to go on with fresh courage, each in their own life.